Cadbury Dairy Milk is a great example of engagement marketing that happened a while back, but you're going to see the power of how engagement works over time from a really experienced and a great company to look at. The thing I really like about what they've done is they are developing people who are passionate about chocolate and really engaging them in a whole series of things that are very, very relevant and fun for the group to do. In other words, it's really great, awesome content. And the other thing it really illustrates is the idea of the community goal. They went out to the community and said, hey, we want to accomplish this goal, and if you help us, we will then celebrate it. So you get to see how all of that works together. A little bit of background. Cadbury is a UK company, and in 2010, 2011, they said, we want to maximize our impact on Facebook, and our goal is very simple. We want to have 1 million likes. And they went out to the community and they said, when this is accomplished, we're going to have a big celebration for everyone. And so what they did is they had a whole lot of really interesting things that they did with chocolate, having people send in ideas, and they would make things and do things, and doing so that would go viral and more people would like them. And so by the end of 2011, they reached their goal of 1 million likes. And so this is going to show you what they did. So what they did is their target market was chocolate lovers. It's a passion market. They built chocolate cars, houses, and other things to get people going. And of course, every time they did that, it went viral. They ran contests for children, promoted activities that they could do with chocolate, and had, of course, a lot of great recipes and things like that. And their goal was to get to this 1 million likes. And so here's what happened when they did. When they got to 1 million likes, they decided to do a 45-hour build of a giant chocolate thumb, which is the like symbol for Facebook. And the celebration was streamed live. So during the 48 hours, they did a whole lot of different activities in addition to building the thumb. And so as you recall, in an engagement marketing relationship, it's anonymous. So what they did is they asked people to post on Facebook different suggestions. And you're going to see that as you watch this video. Watch the back wall. There's essentially a comment wall where people said, oh, make a cake, or do this, or say hi to this, or go do something else. And the key was they put those on the wall. Then during the course of the 48 hours, they would actually do them. That kept people watching. And they found a lot of people watched for the entire 48 hours. But what you're going to see here is a video of them making the thumb and the celebrations that they went through. Okay, that was the actual celebration. There are a lot of activities that went before that and a lot of things that happened after that. But notice how they really involved the people that were watching in the entire process. In fact, behind them you had the wall, which you see here on the left. People send in their congratulations. They could also ask them questions or request them to do things that were going. So in other words, while it was an anonymous two-way dialogue, the dialogue happened. In fact, if you go back and watch, it actually talks to somebody named Laura who had sent in the request to make the cake. And so the key is they made it very, very personal, even though they really don't know who you are. And that's really one of the hallmarks of engagement, is you're engaging with people that are in a certain passion area or a certain trigger event in their lives. You don't necessarily have to know who they are. And if you have the right kind of products, this works really well. But the key is notice how they made it two-way, even though it was an anonymous relationship with the people. And so the key, though, is that they kept doing it. And so back then they hit 1 million people. Now they're up to 12 million today. And one of the things I'd encourage you to do is to go out to Cadbury Dairy Milk on Facebook. What you're going to find is all sorts of things that are very engaging to that passion market. They give them recipes, they give you ideas, they show you different things to do, a lot of seasonal things, things for your kids, things for you as an adult, and all sorts of different ways of using chocolate. And they just make it fun. They make it really engaging and really interesting. And so the key was, the celebration itself had 35,000 people involved with the campaign. 40,000 new Facebook fans did it while it's happening. So as a result, they were actually going out virally. An increase in Facebook participation from 16% to 33% because of all the events. So what they were doing was they were measuring engagement as it happened, and they were putting out a lot of different content really designed for people passionate about chocolate and encouraging them through the celebration and the setting of community goals. We want to hit 1 million, of getting more and more people to come in. In other words, excited people on Facebook went out and got their friends and brought them over so that they could eventually have the celebration which you just saw. So what does it tell you? First off, it worked because it was very broad targeting. There are a lot of people that are chocolate lovers to do it. It was extremely relevant. They made it, really an interesting thing to do to actually build the giant thumb. They also gave coupons and special offers to people who buy the chocolate. So they make it really relevant for the people who are chocolate lovers. They made it fun. It's a great way to engage the markets in that two-way interaction. And they had a lot, it was very, very creative. And those are the sort of things that people gravitate towards. They really enjoy doing it as they move forward. So what does this mean for you? Well, as you're going through and thinking about your engagement strategy, the key is to make it two-way. Ask people for their opinions, especially if you're in a passion market. Get that two-way dialogue happening, even though you don't know who they are, and try to make it as fun as you can. The key is people like to do things that are unique. They also like to set goals and work towards it as a team, you and them. If that's appropriate, that's a great idea for you. And so the thing I like about Cadbury is it was very effective engagement marketing that not only worked back in 2011, but is working for them today. So go ahead and follow them on Facebook and kind of watch what they're doing. It's a great ongoing lesson in how to do engagement marketing.